Guys, it's the 1122 Wingnut Radio out here for Anarchy Television. And I wanted to talk about prepping for shit hit the fan. And I mean more than just like stacking up food and water up to the ceiling and all that shit and ammunition or whatever. I'm actually talking about like for real, like for instance, like you were out of town. I've heard a few other YouTubers talk about this, where like you were out of town, like at work or something like that, and the shit happens and you had to walk it home. And that's like, 10, 20, 30, 100 miles away. Doesn't matter. Just, wherever you happen to be, you had to hoof it back. Well, I'm going to tell you something. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are hoping for certain things to be like the stars be aligned just right and blah, blah, blah. But when the shit hits the fan, it's never at a good time. And the reason why I am looking at that right there is because I got a flat tire Saturday afternoon, and I let's see here, I can't remember how many miles it is, but you think about it, it's 45 minutes in a vehicle going 65, 70 miles an hour pretty much the whole way. That's about how far it is. It's 45 minutes by car going about 65, 70 miles an hour, all right, back to my house. Okay. So this happens, and I'm like, shit, I got a spare, but it's at home. I got a jack, but it's at home. That's like, I don't know, 50 some odd miles away. I don't know. Okay, I don't know how long it is. I haven't really looked at a map mileage wise to find out how long it is. I just know about how long it would, take by car and all that stuff. But I'm going to tell you something. That entire way, except for a spot where somebody actually picked me up and gave me a ride, and they gave me a ride for about 5 miles of that whole stretch. But the rest of the stretch I walked. And I'm going to tell you something, man. It is now Monday. My freaking heels still hurt. And yes, I did get a couple of calluses because I was wearing work boots. I was just wearing my regular steel toe work boots. Oh my God. All right. It took me 7 hours, about 6, almost 7 hours to do that walk from where I was, where I had to, pull over on the side of the road and leave the van. That was Saturday. And you know how they say those things happen in threes? All that crap. Well, I don't know if you guys are, familiar with like turkey buzzards, those big buzzards and stuff that's sitting there eating dead carcasses off the side of the road. Well, one decided to fly into my freaking windshield today. And did a hell of a nice job embedding feathers in the glass. So, needless to say, on top of that, also while I was out today, my van was acting up. And, I had to sit there for about, 20, 30 minutes before it'll crank back up and all that shit. It's been doing some weird stuff. So that was happening. That happened twice today, and then that. So needless to say, I'm fed up with all this. It's like, I mean seriously, I'm almost down to the point where I'm just going to like say, fuck it. Just expect. Just feel, for real. Just expect something is going to go wrong every single day. Every single day when you wake up, something's going to go wrong. And just expect it. and be ready for it. Now, I'm going to tell you something. When it comes down to like this walk home, me personally, I didn't feel like challenging myself unnecessarily, because it was during the heat of the day. It was freaking hot as shit, and it was day, in the afternoon time. I mean, so I mean, I think it was like 1 o'clock when I actually had to pull over and park the van. It was around a little after 1 o'clock, and by the time I got home, it was getting dark. I mean, it was almost 7 o'clock. All right, but anyway, I decided not to wear my get home bag, which I have a get home bag. It's got some food in it, some water, fire starter, just basic kind of stuff to, if I had to do an overnighter on the way, whatever, whatever. But that's a lot of stuff. So what I decided to do for me at that time, under those circumstances, I grabbed 2 big bottles of water and I shoved them in my cargo pants pockets, and I just started walking. I had my thumb out the whole damn time trying to hitch a ride. Like I said, I only got a ride for 5 miles of that whole damn stretch. And now, I mean, when I was a kid, man, I could hitchhike across this whole damn country. And I literally did. I hitchhiked across this whole damn country, and I could do it faster and easier than driving. Yeah. And nowadays, nobody wants to pick your ass up. Nobody wants to even get close to you. You know what I mean? I mean, unless you're out here in the sticks in the rural area, like where I'm at right now. I mean, some of these good old boys out here, especially if they recognize you, they'll pick you up. But shoot, down there in the city, hell no. Hell no. Nobody's even going to think about stopping for your ass. Yeah. Keep on walking, but even people will honk at you. They'll even honk at you and then hold their hand out with their thumb up like I am, and like, yeah, fuck you too, motherfucker. Why don't you stop and give me a fucking ride? Anyway, this was my personal shit hit the fan, and I now can say that, and I didn't film any of it, because one of the reasons why I had to walk home is because my phone was dead. I didn't have any minutes on my phone, so I couldn't even call anybody to come get me or do anything or whatever right at that moment. So I didn't even have my phone with me. I left it at home. So I couldn't even record any of it. So you guys are just going to have to take my damn word for it. So I don't give a fuck. But there's the damn tire. Fuck all y'all. Anyway, nobody, it's just like everybody's just trying to get somewhere. They don't even want to bother, especially when you're, but I'm going to tell you something. I think a lot of that mentality is going to change when everybody is in the same situation. I had a shit hit the fan happen. I was in shit hit the fan Saturday. All right. It was like an EMP just knocked out my vehicle, but it ended up being a tire. But I had to walk home from that position. I can now say that I know I can do it. I would definitely take a lot longer if I didn't get a ride for one, and then also if I packed my get home bag, because I would go slower and I would take more breaks, which I didn't take very many breaks along the way. I just kind of kept at a slow pace, and every so often chug some water as I'm going and just keep on walking. Yes, there's some muscles in my hips that are like totally sore, and my heels are still they're hurting right now standing on them. All right, but and like I said, I had a couple of blisters, but I'm wearing different boots right now. But that's the thing too. That's another thing too. Like, for instance, if you have a get home bag, make sure you got comfortable shoes to walk your ass home. Comfortable shoes or boots or whatever, something that's really comfortable, because if you got a lot of fucking walking, you want something comfortable that's not going to leave you blisters or this or that or whatever. Make sure you have at least at the minimum, that. Because, if all you're going to walk with is a backpack full of some water in you and you're good, because, otherwise, a full get-home bag, that's on an emergency, for shit real, shit hit the fan, all over the place. Everybody's in that situation. Nobody is in the position to help you. You had to fend for yourself. You had to deal with yourself. That's a different story. There's a lot of weight I would have carried. It would have taken me 2 days to get home, because I would have taken a break every hour or so. You know what I mean? And yeah, I probably would have waited until dark to actually did all my travels, so I wouldn't fucking get all hot and fucking, you know what I mean? Because it was at the heat of the day when that happened. And so if I was in a really situation, like for instance an EMP and everybody stopped, okay, I know I need to get home, so I'm going to take whatever I can out of the van, and I'm going to carry as much as I can, and take as long as it takes me to get there, because I'm not in a hurry. You know what I mean? I got nowhere to be if that was the situation. But yeah, I can't, in this situation, I can't leave the van sitting there parked for more than a couple of days, or the ticket or tow it or something like that. So I had to get it done and find a ride back, and with the tire and my jack, all that other shit, so yeah. Anyway, shit hits the fan. No matter if it's a personal shit hit the fan or a nationwide, affects everybody, shit hit the fan. It doesn't matter. Shit hit the fan is never at a good time. And depending on your situation and your conditions or whatever's going on, if you had to do it, can you do it? Have you even tried? Have you ever been in a situation where you had to walk 50 miles for real? I mean, have you ever done it just to see if you can do it for an experiment? I really didn't want to do this, but now I can say, hell yeah, I can do it if I need to. It's not a big deal. I would have been able to, even if I didn't get that ride, it would have taken me another hour or so to get home if I didn't get that ride, but I can do it. I'd be carrying light though. If it was like a scenario where I know everything and I was going to leave the van there for a long period of time, I want to get everything out of it I can. So, especially if I was in a situation where I was abandoning that thing. If I was abandoning that thing, yes, I want to get as much as I can out of there, what I think is useful, and then just say, I'm on that fuck it scenario after that. But anyway, I heard the puppies in here barking a little bit, so I just wanted to kind of come in here and look at them real quick and give you a little peek. They just ate, so they're kind of tired. That's good. And let me see here if I can get some more water in here. Alright, puppies, okay, I'm back out. Double one, double two, out here with my own personal shit hit the fan story. I'm back out.